Honorable adjudicators, our first point is that adapting a student loan mechanism in Indonesia will trap millions of young graduates in long-term debt and financial stress, rather than genuinely expanding access to education. The core logic is simple. Education should be a tool for social mobility, not a financial gamble that burdens students the moment they enter the workforce. In theory, maybe student loan sounds fair because repayment only starts after graduation, right? But however, this ignores Indonesia's actual labor market conditions. Many graduates face high underemployment, skill job mismatch, and a massive informal sector. Even with income continuing repayment, the psychological burden remains heavy. Young people will delay important life decisions such as marriage, buying a house, starting a family, or like taking entrepreneurial moves or risk. Moreover, shifting the cost of tertiary education from the government to individual students fundamentally changes education from a public good into a personal debt contract. When students know they must repay for the loan, well, they will become more risk averse and focus only on safe but low return careers just to pay the debt. Additionally, loan systems tend to create moral hazard on both sides. Students may choose expensive but low quality programs because money is available, right? But universities can raise tuition fees knowing that students can borrow from the government. This cycle has been proven in many countries. In Indonesia's context, with its large population, regional inequality, and administrative limitation, the risk of widespread default of the hidden government subsidy is extremely high. Therefore, instead of solving the access problem, students' loans merely postpone and worsen the problem of education funding. For the next one. Before this, the proposition team agrees that scholarship prioritize wealthy students. For me, this is misleading because programs like KIP Kuliah exist and they are explicitly designed and targeted at students from low income families with clear eligibility based on economic criteria as parental income below certain thresholds. While implementation issues exist, the core mechanism is need-based and pro-poor. The solution is to expand, improve, and better fund these scholarships, not to introduce a loan system that adds debt on top of existing barriers. Loans can create debt aversion, which hits poorer students hardest. They are more likely to avoid borrowing altogether or drop out due to fear of the future obligations. Well, meanwhile, with the wealthier families, they can still pay upfront or treat loans lightly. Yeah. Thus, loans do not fix inequality, well, and they risk making it worse by creating two classes of graduates, the debt-free one and the indebted. Therefore, adopting a student loan mechanism is not a solution but a dangerous policy that will burden Indonesia's youth with debt while failing to solve the root problems of access and quality. We must reject this motion and instead focus on expanding scholarships, increasing targeted public funding, and lowering the actual cost of education. This House should not turn the dreams of Indonesian students into decades of financial obligation. That's my argument. Thank you.